Well, hello, everybody. It is so lovely to see everyone here this weekend, and I just want to extend a welcome to our entire extended SV2 community. Before we get started tonight, I really want to give a very special thank you to Legacy Venture. And Legacy Venture has been a partner of SV2 for many years, and they are sponsoring tonight's event. So a lot of appreciation to them for continuing to be a partner of ours. And also I want to thank the Hewlett Foundation, because this year they provided a lot of support as well, including providing the sponsorship for our recent Performing Arts Lightning Grant Round. Before I get started with a few brief remarks, let me talk a little about tonight's program. So we are going to have an amazing program. After a few brief remarks, we are going to be very fortunate to have our board chair, Bill Barnell, present the award this year for the Laura Arriaga Andreessen Social Impact Award. And then following that, we are going to be delighted to have Nicole Taylor here with us, the new CEO of Silicon Valley Community Foundation. We're just so delighted. And then we have two recent grantees who are going to tell just really wonderful stories about how, through empathy, that inspired them to innovate in ways in which they're solving really, really important social challenges. So after that, feel free to have coffee and dessert and just continue to talk with everybody. So our theme for tonight talks about empathy and innovation. And empathy is just such a powerful motivator for us to innovate and really work together to create change. And I wanted to talk about a very recent story that some of you may have seen in the news by a boy by the name of Tani. He's an 8-year-old refugee boy in New York City. He lived in a homeless shelter. And at his local elementary school, he was introduced to chess and recently won the New York State Scholastic Chess Championship for his age category. And soon after, his chess instructor had this innovative idea. Let's create a GoFundMe campaign and let's see if we can get some permanent housing for Tani and his family. So what happened is there's this outpouring of support. Anonymous donors offered housing. Within 10 days, $200,000 was donated. But to me, this is the most amazing part of the story. Tani's family took only rent for 1 year for a modest 2-bedroom apartment close to his public school. And they are giving all of that money away to support other African immigrant families that were in the same situation they were. Here's the other thing. Because of the press attention this has received, it's now brought new attention to the fact that there's new social and systemic structures needed to support homeless families and children. How wonderful is that? So it's just brought new attention to creating a longer-term solution. And so I can't help but reflect and say, we have some of those same challenges today right here in Silicon Valley. And we are the innovation center of the world. So imagine what would be possible if we harnessed our resources to address challenges like these. But for that innovation to be possible, we need to build empathy, which means a willingness to step into other people's shoes, feel their pain, and work together for common good. You know, it's interesting, for those of you familiar with design thinking, empathy is the first step in the design thinking process. But also, if you look at SV2's core values, two of our core values are empathy and innovation. And those are core to our mission statement, which is to unleash the resources and talents of the Silicon Valley community to achieve meaningful social impact. And we do this in two major ways. First of all, we provide programming that equips partners to be more strategic, informed, and effective in their giving. And we support grantees and impact investees in a way that accelerates their impact. So this year, we actually expanded opportunities for partners to engage. We have 4 grant rounds and monthly impact investing sessions this year where partners learn and give together. In the area of issue-focused and philanthropic toolkit learning, we provided learning sessions around issues like affordable housing, early childhood development, and Census 2020. Philanthropic toolkit sessions included values-aligned investing and strategic approaches to advocacy engagement. And we also formalized partner learning around effective philanthropy practices with a How of Giving track. And these had workshops like evaluating a theory of change, art of assessing nonprofits, and a deep dive session on demystifying nonprofit financials. And this year, we're piloting a new initiative that I'm so excited about. It's what we call our Why of Giving track, and we call it Get Proximate. And this initiative is enabling our partners to more deeply understand the experiences of our neighbors in our community. And our first Get Proximate experience enabled partners to engage with community neighbors in Life Moves, Maple Street Transitional Housing. And for our second experience, we're partnering with a former grantee, Somos Mayfair, to more deeply understand the experiences, hopes, and dreams of our neighbors in East San Jose. Also, we have whole family programs, and those have been really growing this year. Our SV2 Kids program has been enabling partner families to serve and give together with local nonprofits. Our SV2 Teens program has grown enormously this year, and they're in the middle of their grant making, and they chose the environment as their sector of focus this year. So the second way that we are achieving our mission is providing support to accelerate social impact of grantees and impact investees. And SV2 actually began 20 years ago, and since that time, we've provided support to over 90 organizations. And this year, we'll be giving about $540,000 in unrestricted grants and impact investments. I can't help reflect, though, that in Silicon Valley, don't we always celebrate technology innovation and the companies and the heroes that make that possible? So tonight, we are going to celebrate and recognize social innovation heroes. And this includes SV2 grantees and impact investees, and I'm just going to name a few of these that are recent. Suyo, an impact investee who provides an affordable service to protect the property of low-income families in Latin America. Haven Connect, an impact investee who provides an online service to more easily find and obtain affordable housing. Fresh Meat Productions, a recent grantee who provides professional performing opportunities for trans and gender nonconforming artists. And we're excited that recent grantees Serum and One Degree will both be sharing their stories with us soon. We're also in the midst of 2 Pathways to Opportunity grant rounds this year. We'll be providing 3-year unrestricted grants in the areas of early life development and entrepreneurship in our local Bay Area. So a few weeks ago, I was actually given a gift of a ticket to go to see Hamilton. I don't know how many of you have seen that show, but it really was a very powerful reminder to me that every person has a story. And the choices we make and how we connect our stories to other people can really create a lasting legacy. You know, the United States was at a critical point in history when Hamilton took place. And you know, today, I think we're at a critical point in history too. You know, and I think the choices we make today are going to fundamentally impact the long-term outcome of our Silicon Valley region, our nation, and our world. So I am really hoping that this evening inspires all of us to think about our own personal stories and how we, individually and collectively, are writing our stories to create greater impact. So with that, what I'd like to do now is introduce our board chair, Bill Brownell, and don't stand up yet because I have a few things to say as I introduce Bill. Bill is going to introduce the recipient of this year's Laura Arriaga Andreessen Award, and by the way, I could not be more thrilled with who is getting that award this year. But I want to say a couple of things about Bill. Bill has served on SV2's board for 6 years, and he's been board chair for the last 3. And Bill's board term is going to end this summer. And Allison Elliott is coming in as SV2's new board chair. But I want to say a couple of things and just say to Bill, I really want to thank you, Bill, because you have contributed so much to SV2 in terms of strategy and organizational health and growth. And the only thing that doesn't make me sad about this is Bill has promised me he is going to stay highly engaged in SV2. So with that, I hope everybody joins me in welcoming Bill.
All right, thank you, Linda. Well, it's really been a joy and a privilege to be in a leadership role at SV2 on the board for the last several years. It's just such a great community of people doing some good in the world. We learn together, we build community together, we have impact together. So it's been really great for me to be part of that. And I did promise to Linda I'll stay a part of it next year in some fashion. Now, I really think during my time around SV2 that we are as strong right now as we've ever been. The partnership is bigger than it's ever been. It's growing. We're having strong impacts in our areas of focus, particularly within the pathways of opportunity areas that we focus on. And we see that tonight in some of the grantees that are speaking and in some of the others we've had this year and will have later in the year. And then I think a third thing is we're building stronger ties with other community groups that we want to align with to have greater impact together. And so I'm particularly pleased tonight that we have Nicole Taylor, the new CEO of the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, speaking, because they are a key player in the ecosystem that delivers more social impact to communities that need it in the Bay Area. So really glad Nicole is with us. Now, all of the success we've had at SV2 requires participation and engagement and a lot of effort from a lot of you. So one of the things I wanted to do tonight is just thank 3 key groups that we could not be successful without. They're just essential to SV2's success. The first one is our wonderful staff team, who they clearly have a lot of fun in what they're doing. But they're also a really skilled, really professional, really dedicated group. Both our senior leaders like Linda, our CEO, Jody, who runs programs and operations, Lisa, who runs relationships and learning, as well as Miriam, Amy, Lucinda, Justina, and just a great group. So thank you, staff, for all you do for us and for driving SV2 forward. A second group I wanted to personally thank is our board. And we don't have as great a group photo of them, but here they are. Here are the mugshots. This is really a talented board and very dedicated and really works well together. I mean, I'm on several boards, and this one is one of the healthiest that I've been exposed to. Very strategic, works together as a team. We identify areas of innovation. We identify areas for growth. We find ways to support that growth. So just thank you to all the board members for your dedication and your generosity as well. And then a final group that I think deserves some recognition is the broader group of what I would call partner leaders. These are partners that step up to take different roles in SV2, run a grant round as a co-lead, maybe be the lead partner on a grantee, lead an interest group, lead an event, lead a social event at their house, just a whole set of things that makes this a vibrant community. And so you can see some of them are board members, but there's a number of others as well that really help SV2 to progress as we do. So I'd like to just thank those of you who have stepped up in partner leader roles. And by the way, for others that are partners that have not tried a leadership role, I just encourage you to try it. It's a good way to get more deeply involved in the community. We need your skills and your smarts, and so please think about considering that next year.